Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway.
Fielded right around the 8. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Jackson on first down. That's complete. It's Collins. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Channing Tindall, and the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So he stopped for no gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he is going to have a Texans first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. The Texans at 7-5 now in the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. Channing Tindall is there for the tackle.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Another carry for Pierce. I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from a strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Jackson to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Channing Tindall. And the Dolphins are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This to Hines on the drop-off. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there,
so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Man open. He's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 7-0 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He'll check this down to Hines. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Back to throw again. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forcing throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, and
for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. Challenge flag is out. Todd Bowles not pleased with the ruling on the field, and he's going to ask the officials to take another look. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That
that one's incomplete.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton.
And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, Maggio out to punt.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done.
And the Texans will take over.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
He'll go up top here for Hamler.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins will take over possession here up at the 44.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. They'll find Hines out of the backfield.
He's got room at the 30.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Again, he'll drop to throw.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. Here's Hines. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
2nd and 3. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson, he's going to let it go again. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime. 64 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. There he goes, left side. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And the lead now down to 20. Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the... Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami, and even 70 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now it's Hines. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with career touchdown number 96. He joins Eric Dickerson on the all-time list as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson, rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. Now it's Jackson. He's going to go up top again. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Andre Cisco.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. This is Hines. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They're going to look to throw.
This will be caught. It's Waddle.
Touchdown! Jalen Waddle. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jackson.
That's underneath to Pierce. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Noah Igbinoghene. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick six. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off. Back now in Houston, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They run with Hines, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, right back to Hines.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Nyheim Hines, a 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this 4th quarter.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, They don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Going for it with Pierce.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff up the middle. Hines. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. On play action, they'll throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Up the middle they go. It's Hines, and able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
On second down, right back to Hines.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Now a hit and a loose football.